Hey gamers, if you like a little bit of push your luck, then you want to check out Goats and Goblins. Let's take a look at how this game plays. In this game, players are going to be going into the caves in order to try and retrieve their goats who have escaped, as well as pick up some treasure along the way. Each player will start with an in and out voting card, a seeing stone, and a push 2, which are both action cards that they can use when they are the cave leader or when somebody else is the cave leader to try and help or hinder the cave leader's current delve. When you are the cave leader, you will announce a number of 3 minimum, or as much as you want, and that's how many cards you will be drawing from the deck, trying to not bust by getting 3 cave-in value cards. After you've declared your number, all the other players will decide if they are in or out for that round. If they are in and the expedition is successful, then you will divvy up cards as evenly as possible among the in players. If they are out, they get nothing if successful, but if it is unsuccessful, then they will get to draw cards from the treasure pile instead of the players who were in. So let's say that I announced 5, and I'm going to go ahead and start flipping one at a time. I don't want to see cave-ins, I want to see treasure, but regardless, I have to keep going until I either hit my number or until I hit 3 cave-ins. So that's 4, and that's 5. So I did pretty well here. I got my 5 cards out, and then I would just get rid of the cave-in card, don't have to worry about that, and then I would divvy these up among the players who had said they were in. So if 4 players were in, we'd each end up getting 1 card, and of course I'm going to take the most valuable one. This one is the least valuable, but does also have an ability on it, so that could be differently valuable to different players, but I would dole those out as evenly as I can. If only maybe 3 people went on the expedition, then I would give some away and then maybe keep another card for myself. If instead of 5, maybe somebody had played a push card on me, so I had to keep drawing more cards, and now I have a value of at least 3 cave-in cards. So I ended up busting, so I will not get anything from my expedition, nor will anybody who was listed as in, but anybody who was out will start drafting the cards from here in turn order until they're all taken. You'll go through the entire deck before the game ends, and at the end of the game you'll add up all of your points to see who wins. You'll have various types of treasure cards. There are more of the ability cards, which all have some values on them. There's goats, which are worth various abilities depending on if you have an odd number, and goblins will work the same way. And then whoever has the most points will win. Like I said, it's a push your luck game, so a lot of it comes down to the luck of the shuffle. You might think that you'll be able to get a couple more cards than the last turn, but then you might draw a level 3 cave-in, and then you're out immediately. Of course, there are those power cards, the action cards that can let you look at the top card of the deck, or steal cards out from under people when they're doing their digging, so like that's really interesting, and I do like the added layer of those action cards having points on them as well, because it kind of makes players think, oh, is it going to be worth it to make someone push a little bit farther and try to bust, or should I just hold on to my point, especially if, if they push a little bit farther and I'm not in the group for this round, am I just going to get, left out of even more cards? So I do think there's a little nice light strategy with when you choose to play those action cards, but overall, again, it's just a push your luck game, so if you don't like kind of risking it and saying like, oh, I'm going to go for 6 cards, I'm going to go for 7 cards, going for high numbers, if you're always going to do like that minimum, I do think it's going to be a little less interesting because there's just not going to be enough like to go around in a round. It's not going to hold people's attention, I think. But I do think that if you have a couple of players who play really risky, or players who always try to make the cave leader push a little bit extra and use those action cards, I do think that there'll be a nice balance if you play with certain kinds of players who really get into the push your luck style. But you can check out my full thoughts on the mod today to decide if this one's for you.